Welcome back. Well, we're going to talk about all the big stocks today, and Tata Motors, of course, will be on our radar. Now, this is a big positive for the company, the fact that they have finally demerged their listed entity into two separate verticals. The demerger will result in two separate listed companies housing A, the commercial vehicle business, and B, the passenger vehicle business, which includes PVs, EVs, as well as Jaguar Land Rover. Now, all shareholders of Tata Motors will continue to have identical shareholdings in both the listed entities. Now, the company says that this demerger is a logical progression of the subsidiarization of the passenger vehicle and EV businesses that was done earlier on in 2022. It was just a matter of time before this demerger would happen because there are no synergies between the commercial vehicle and the passenger vehicle business. Now there will be considerable synergies to be harnessed across passenger vehicles, EV as well as JLR, particularly in the area of electric vehicles, where not only is Tata Motors gaining market share, is the market leader, but they're also making significant investments over the next couple of years. They're also looking at autonomous vehicles, vehicle software, and this demerger will help them focus more on their passenger vehicle business and enhance value for shareholders. Now, the NCLT scheme of arrangement for the demerger will be placed before the board in the coming months, and in terms of a timeline, the demerger will take about 12 to 15 months to complete. But a lot of brokerages believe that a lot of the good news about this demerger, whether it's the growth of the JLR business, whether it's improvement in passenger vehicles, has already happened. If you look at it, the stock has doubled in the last 1 year. So maybe a lot of the news is in the price. However, I'm still going with green today.
Okay, all right. And for those that will be wondering what happens to the Tata Motors stock because it's part of the Nifty, well, the treatment will be similar to what we saw with Reliance when Jio went out of it. So you'll have 51 stocks for a bit, and then the smaller component, which should be the CV business, will make its way out. So Tata Motors continues to remain in the Nifty, and post the demerger, you'll have two entities for some time, and then the smaller one will make its way out. But let's focus on the other big news that came in late last evening. IIFL Finance as well as DCB Bank, both of them are in focus because RBI has wrapped the knuckles out there. Abhishek joins us to run us through all of those details. Morning, Abhishek.
Morning, Nigel. No, IIFL Finance could be stock of the day in terms of downwards pressure on account of the fact that RBI has directed IIFL Finance to cease and desist from any business in future with respect to gold financing. So RBI said that there is material supervisory concerns in gold loan portfolio of IIFL Finance. There are serious deviations in assaying as well as certifying the purity and net weight of the gold, which was at the time of sanctions as well as at the time of auctioning of these gold loans. There is breaches with respect to loan to value ratio as well. Significant disbursals and collections are done in cash, which is in excess of the regulatory permission that is being available. There is non-adherence to standard auction process as well. Lack of transparency with respect to charges that they are levying to their customers is also a breach over there. And regulatory violations with respect to significant and adverse impact on customers can also be felt. So with respect to the Q3 FY24 PPT, it showed that the gold loan portfolio was close to about 32% of the overall AUM and growing very rapidly at 25-30% on a YY basis. And it's a high yielding portfolio. 19% was the yield for 9-month FY24. With respect to DCB, they have also commented on this news of IIFL Finance. Bank's gold loan, co-lending agreement with IIFL Finance has started way back in August 21. Portfolio performance has been satisfactory and due diligence process gives them a reasonable assurance with respect to their portfolio. Someone's loss could be someone's gain. Keep on radar for investors would be Muthoot Finance and Manappuram as well. Back to you.
All right. Thanks very much, Abhishek, for that. Now, that's interesting and an important story, which we'll get to in more detail. And perhaps you'll hear from the management in terms of commentary in a bit from now. But Macrotech developers and AU Small Finance Bank are the other ones that Abhishek has got his eyes on. Abhishek, back to you.
Well, Prashant, with respect to Macrotech developers or LODA, as we know, sources do tell CNBC-TV18 that they are looking to raise funds via QIP. So the QIP size could be about rupees 3,300 crores, which is at an indicative price of about 1,098 per share. This is at a discount of more than 7% to yesterday's closing price and little less than 3% to SEBI's floor price. The capital dilution would be about 3.1%, and Kotak Securities is the banker to this deal. With respect to AU Small Finance Bank, RBI has approved the merger of Fincare Small Finance Bank with AU Small Finance Bank. So beginning 1st of April 2024, this merger will come into effect, and all the branches of Fincare Small Finance Bank will be converted into AU Small Finance Bank's branches after 1st of April 2024. Back to you.
Okay, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. I recall last week we had highlighted Macrotech developers. There was big delivery-based buying out there and the stock was making a bit of a recovery. Now we know, as Abhishek tells us, they're looking to raise some funds. Well, let's wind this down. Vamakshi is joining in to tell us about some more stocks that are in the news. Morning, Vamakshi.
Well, good morning, Nigel. Let me first start off with Bharat Forge. The stock will be in focus on the back of Class 8 truck orders that have come in for the month of Feb. The total orders stood at 25,700 units. This is down nearly 9% on a month-on-month basis, but on a year-on-year basis, it is actually up almost 11%. But important to note that the Feb orders are at a 5-month low. In fact, they're down almost 6% as compared to the 6-month average orders. So all in all, on the back of this news flow, expect Bharat Forge to open in the red. We have a whole host of counters, BEML, BEL, Mithani. They are all expected to open in the green, and that is because the Ministry of Defence has inked an MOU with all of these companies, and this is for indigenous development of advanced fueling and control system for engines for particularly heavy-duty applications. So on the back of that, expect all of these counters to open in the green. And lastly, let's also focus in on Z Entertainment. There was an analyst call yesterday, and the management highlighted that the company is a very strategic asset and is well positioned. They see significant room for performance enhancement. The revival plan by the management team is already being put into action, and in fact, this is to accelerate growth as well as enhance profitability for the company. In fact, in an interview that was published yesterday, Mr. Puneet Goenka also said by FY26 they're aiming to achieve nearly 2,000 crores worth of EBITDA for the company. So on the back of this con call, expect the entertainment to open in the green.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Well, lots of stocks in focus. Here's a quick recap in case you missed out on any of them. Stocks with positive news flow: Tata Motors, Macrotech Developers, AU Small Finance Bank, BEML, BEL, Mishra Dhatu and Z Enterprises, while stocks with negative news flow: IIFL Finance, DCB Bank and Bharat Forge. But there's so much happening outside the equity markets, especially in asset classes like Bitcoin, like cryptocurrencies rather. But Manisha Gupta is here to give us the roundup of all the action in the commodity markets overnight. Manisha, hi, good morning.
Well, thank you for that, Sonia. Absolutely. There are two headlines from the space right now. One is from gold, where we have seen the prices settle in the global markets at an all-time high of $2,126 an ounce. It has been a very strong gains. We've seen last 2 weeks actually building up for this. The markets have seen decline in US data and expectation that you could be looking at a rate cut in the month of June, and that has led all the bulls coming in. The surprising factor clearly comes in from the cryptocurrencies, where we have seen 8 to 9% of gains overnight, with Bitcoin 9 now trading at around $68,000. All-time high has been at around $69,000. The interesting part is that you have the equity markets and gold and the cryptos all running up at the same time, and a lot of support and a lot of money clearly flowing into all of this.
All right, Manisha, thanks very much for that. So that's the action from commodities and, of course, crypto, the crypto world as well. Thanks very much, Manisha, for that. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We'll come back and we'll connect with Hemang Jani. We'll talk about some of these individual stocks and how they're expected to react. And, of course, we'll get you more on that IIFL story in a bit from now. Stay with us.